Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've shared an update on my funded trading account with you, so that's what I'm going to do in this video today. I'm going to jump onto the charts and share with you an update on my funded account and also some of the trade recaps that I've taken recently, as well as a really nice winning trade that I took on New Zealand dollar, US dollar. I have been experiencing some learning curves with my account and I'm going to share it all with you right now. Okay guys, so I've just loaded up my broker here in MT5, the broker that I use with my funded account challenge with the 5%ers. And if you haven't seen my recent videos, this is an account challenge that I'm currently undertaking with the 5%ers. It's part of their summer program, so they offered a free challenge. It's not available anymore, but it might be in the future. And what I really love about it is there isn't an expiry date, so the idea is that you can take your time to go through the challenge and respect the rules. It's a 3-step process to pass the challenge, and I'm currently in the first step. Now, although I started this challenge back in June, I've had a few things going on over summer, so since September I've actually been trading this account, focusing on swing trading. However, the last few weeks I may have gotten a little bit sidetracked and I may have been naughty and gone against my plan, and it's certainly come back to bite me, which I'm going to share with you. So I've loaded up the data here, the trading data in my history for October. So to begin with, for the first part of October, I was following my trading plan. I was trading the 4-hourly time frame and I was swing trading. And although you can probably see there's a lot of red here, I'm actually green on October, so it is going very well. However, about a week ago, I got a little bit sidetracked and I started to get ahead of myself because I'm really close to hitting the pip target for this first challenge, and I thought that I was doing well. I wanted to try and speed things up a little bit, so I decided to step back down to the faster time frames for the hourly and the 15 minutes and to have a go at day trading. Now, unfortunately, all this did was result in, from this row onwards, all of these red trades. But fortunately, I was using a very small lot size, so it hasn't exactly had a detrimental effect on my account. Regardless, it's not the best behaviour. I've gone against my trading plan, and I've just learned that part about myself, basically, that I can sometimes get a little bit reckless. I can get bored following a plan, and I guess it's just a bit of impatience coming out. But it's really good to reflect on this and to learn from it, because as you can see here, it's just resulted in consecutive losers, and I don't want to keep that up. So from now on, I'm just acknowledging to myself and sharing with you guys, so you can hold me accountable, that the account with the 5%ers should primarily be for swing trading the 4-hourly, because that's my trading plan and that's what's been working for me. I'm not going to show you these trades in detail because they are not part of my trading plan and I shouldn't have really taken them. However, above those, these are all part of my trading plan. So I have taken losers, and you can't avoid them when you're trading. Losers is part of the plan. But fortunately, I have taken larger winners. I've had a higher risk to reward ratio, which has resulted in a profit so far on October. So here are a few of the trades that I've taken trading price action in October with the 5%ers. So I took a trade on Euro Yen. This was actually a losing trade here using LSB measurements, so that's the last swing broker. So I was watching these swings here, making a lower low and a lower high, a lower low and a lower high, and then we had this potential new lower low, but the pullback broke the previous lower high, so that was the last swing that got broken. And I simply used that measurement here to gauge where we might get some sort of pullback with price. So we did get this second attempt here, which was the same length as this one, and price action didn't break this previous swing here. So I was using these measurements and I was calculating with price action where the best place for an entry would be, and I set one here at 128.90. Now, as you can see with this trade, I used around about a 50 pip stop and I was aiming for a much larger target. I think this was a 4R target, and unfortunately price action just stopped me out. I was in this trade and I got stopped out before it went straight up to target. So I had the right idea with this, but it just didn't work out. My lesson from this was to obviously think about stop placement or maybe just add a bit of extra there, but it's all part of the learning process. It's nice to know I had the right idea. I've just got to keep on going. And I had a similar trade on New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen as well, using the 4-hourly time frame. Similar concepts with the swings and the last swing broken. I was also using the addition of the Andrews fork just to help to frame price and calculate some targets for price. And as you can see, I got triggered into this trade as we broke above this range and got a retest. My stop was just below this range, and price came down. It stopped me out by a few pips, and then it went up past my target. So again, I had the right idea, just need to rethink my stop placement there. Here's another swing trade that I took on pound New Zealand dollar. This trade actually resulted in a break-even trade because once I got into this trade, when we got above 1R, I actually adjusted my stop to break even as per my plan, and unfortunately it came down to my stop. But as you can see, it would have continued down to my hard stop. So I managed to save myself a loser with this trade. Here was a nice winner that I took on pound Swiss franc using a swing trade, and I held this for quite a few days. So again, I was observing the flow of price and the way that we had been in this downtrend, but we had this swing here that we tried to break and it didn't break, and from then on price started to swing upwards. We started to get higher highs and higher lows, and I used this to set an order to try to get in using the reaction lag measurements on one of the pullbacks. I took 2 positions on this, 2 small positions, and in the end I got a 2R reward out of this. I could have left one of them to run and I probably would have made more profit, but I'm still experimenting with that style. And for this I got out as per my plan with a 2R profit. And this is probably my best trade I've taken so far in October, which I'm going to share with you in more detail on the charts. So I've taken this back in time to the 6th of October, which is when I got into this trade for a long position. And there are a few things that I noticed in price. So I had this area just measured out at the bottom, which was a possible resistance area. And what I was interested in was the flow of price here. So as you can see, we had been in this downtrend here. We were making lower lows and lower highs. Now what I was interested in was we had a lower low here. We pulled back and we made a lower high here before breaking this low and making a new swing down. From here, price action shot up and we actually broke the previous lower high, which meant that it could be a shift in behavior. It could be an indication of a trend shift, whereas price might be starting to reverse and move higher. So what I did was I used this tool to calculate the length of this last swing that got broken, and I applied that up here, and I could see that price had actually pulled back to this area and had started to pull up some more. So it was showing that we had tried to come down to break this again and starting to get some support to the buying side. And this is where I got interested to take a position long. So I was looking at most recent price action and trying to establish where the best place was to set a buy limit. And I was quite interested in this area here, because we had a little bit of consolidation going on here before price zoomed out of this zone, so I thought that we might come back to retest that area. So what I decided to do was set a buy limit order, aiming for a retest of this area here. So I targeted where these wicks were because we had 3 wicks in a row and price shot out of this area. So I set a hard buy limit order at this point here. I used a 50 pip stop, which was placed just below this range here because I felt like if we broke that, price was likely to just continue down. When it came to actually plotting a target, I decided to use a fork to try to gain an idea of where price might move to. So I used the most recent low to the new high that we had established, and then this point here. And I felt that price had the potential to retrace to this upper median line, so I actually set a large 5R target for this trade. But as part of my plan, once we had broken past 1R, which would be 50 pips, I was going to trail my stop to break even, and then I was going to keep a 1R trailing stop. So once price moved 100 pips, I would trail it to 50 pips in profit. So effectively, when we hit 2R, I would trail a stop to 1R. When we hit 3R, I would trail a stop to 2R, just to try to trail my profit in case price turned so that I wouldn't be leaving any money on the table. So price came down and it triggered me into this trade long. And I was in this trade for quite a while, so I'm just going to play this through for you now. And that looks like a beautiful trade, doesn't it, guys? I wish that I took the whole of that, but I didn't. As per my plan, I decided to trail my stop. So once price crossed this point here, which we had been consolidating under for quite some time, I brought my stop up to break even to just secure the trade, reduce the risk on the account. Once we crossed this second checkpoint level here at 2R, I trailed my stop to this lower one here, this 1R point. And then once we crossed this 55 level here, I trailed my stop to this second point. Now this is where I faltered a little bit with my plan, because on this candle here, this red candle, this was actually on a Friday, and when I saw that candle, we'd broken above my 3R profit. So at this point, I was up 3 times what I was risking. And when we saw this candle coming down here, it was on a Friday, and I decided to trail a very tight stop. So on that day, I moved my stop up to this 3R level, removing this previous stop here. And as you can see, price came down and it stopped me out. Now I was quite happy because I was happy to take a 3R profit. I thought that was really nice to get that profit on my account. But as you can see, if I'd have just trusted my plan and held the position, trusted my trailing stops, price continued up higher and I could have gained that extra 2R from this trade. But it is lessons, and I'm happy to still walk away green on this. It's still a very nice amount to win, but I could have taken a little bit more. I feel like that's the trick with trading, is that there's always something to learn, there's always a learning process, there's always growth to be had, and it's part of what I really love about it, but then also it just keeps me going because there's always something else to learn. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want some more information about the 5%ers, the prop firm that I'm using, I have got a link below in the description, and I have created a separate video about them that I'll include above. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already part of the channel. And I'll catch you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!